Hello guys, Furball, the hammy, your friendly neighborhood hamster, is back again for another video, and today we will be talking about a more serious topic. And some of you guys may even notice this video being on the front page of my channel, and that's because this is the channel trailer explaining about who I am, why my name is Furball, and many unanswered questions you have about me. Firstly, let's get to the main question that most of you guys have always been asking me: why is my name Furball? I used to own a hamster 8 years ago when I was 11 years old, and it was a cute Syrian grey hamster I bought from the pet store. It was my first pet, and I am a single child, and I named her Furball. She was always an active hamster, riding on its wheels in its cage and running throughout my house when I placed her in a blue hamster ball. I still remember how she always snuggled in my hands when I carried her, and her warm and fluffy body rested in my hands as I fell in love with this small, adorable, and innocent life. I still remember how I would feed her pumpkin seeds, and she would always shove as many as she could in her cheek pouches, as those are her favorite seeds. Sadly, 5 years ago, she passed on in her sleep, and I was devastated, of course, as I have yet to have dealt with the experience of death when I was 13 years old. As the quote says, time heals all wounds. As time passed, I did manage to move on from the passing of Furball, but the memories of her still remains vivid and clear to this day. Time heals all wounds, but scars remains. While I don't cry whenever I think of Furball now, I still have this melancholy feeling whenever I think of her, which I can never forget. As such, I chose to believe that Furball is always with me in spirit, and as such, my username is Furball, as I believe that by doing so, Furball will always be playing with me and going through the many adventures I've had over the years since our passing together as one in Minecraft. Hopefully you aren't crying now, but let's move on to brighter places. Let's move on to the next question. Who am I? I am obviously not a hamster, but a student currently serving the army for the next 2 years in Singapore. And I still make weekly Skyblock videos and the occasional Windcraft video or live update videos like these. I enjoy playing Hypixel Skyblock, Windcraft, and prison servers, mostly in Minecraft, and also enjoy watching anime during my free time, with a few of my favorite anime genres being slice of life, romance, with a few psychological animes. A few of my favorites are the Pet Girl of Sakuraso, New Game, No Game No Life, Higurashi, Oregairu, Toradora, and Oremo. Beyond my small interests, I also intend to become a teacher, as I am going on to university to study a degree in economics, possibly with a second major in sociology after I finish my army duties in Singapore. I also intend to immigrate to Canada or Germany or Denmark to become a teacher overseas, as Singapore is not a very suitable country for me because society here tends to be overly materialistic and tends to overfocus on academics, making it very stifling, which is something I don't enjoy. Why YouTube? Why did I decide to do YouTube when I had to study for my A-levels? At some point in the lives of most children, you have probably wished to become a YouTuber like your favorite YouTuber, right? Or maybe that's just me. But I had that thought before a long time ago, but of course I never acted on it when I realized that the work I had to put in to learn editing, scripting, and so much more of what's expected of a YouTuber, and at some point I realized that, hey, I didn't really want to learn these things, so I just passed it on as just another dream that is just a dream at the end of the day. However, at the age of 17 in December, I realized that if I kept putting away a dream just because it was quote-unquote too hard and I was too busy, I would never fulfill it in my entire life, because at every stage of our lives, whether we are in elementary school, high school, or college, or even as an adult, as we go up higher and higher in age, life only gets busier and expectations only get higher. If I don't start now because I'm too busy right now and I don't have time, then I will never have time to pursue my dreams in the future either. As such, I started my YouTube channel on that fateful month and vowed to keep at it and to never give up. Being 17 and in high school in Singapore, we would take a major national exam called the A-levels at 18, and starting my YouTube channel during this time may not be the best option, but I kept my head down and kept going. My parents objected to my decision early on my YouTube channel. We had arguments upon arguments, and they were worried about my grades, which weren't great back then. We eventually agreed that as long as my grades improved and I am able to go to university, my parents would not bother me about my channel. As such, it was a harrowing and fearful couple months as the existence of my channel hung on my academics. And of course I had to keep going. I didn't really have a choice. I couldn't just throw my dreams out of the window just for my grades. I decided that I'll simply do both. And both I did. During my breaks between lessons, which added up to around 3 to 5 hours a day, I would spend all that time studying, revising, and consulted my tutors for the questions I had. And when I went home, all I needed to do was my homework, and I could spend the rest of the night working on grinding Skyblock and refining my editing skills. It was suddenly exhausting and draining as I had to constantly reject going out with my friends, and I had to spend my weekends studying and grinding. I barely had any personal time outside of studying and YouTube, and many sacrifices were obviously made. Eventually, after many tears and doubt as I feared that YouTube would burden my academics and my future, even to the point where during my A-levels I was still making videos and grinding 25 to 30 hours a week during the major national exam. And of course, I was certainly scared of the end result. But at the end, my consistency of my daily work and sacrifices paid off, even if I spent 30 hours a week playing even during exams for YouTube. As I did well enough to qualify for all 3 economic degree courses from the 3 local universities in Singapore, and I suddenly felt overjoyed as I managed to keep the balance of grinding like a mad lad, being ranked top 40 in Calacombs XP in December 2020, being ranked top 10 in Savannah and Tarantula when I did Slayers in early 2019, and being top 100 in combat skill in early 2019, and even broke a world record in Floor 7 in December 2020. It was a hard, doubtful, and sacrificial road, but after making it and looking back, all I could say was that 2020 was by far the most impactful year of my life and changed my life for the better and made me grow as a person by fulfilling my dreams and realizing the importance of following your dreams, as well as learning the joys of being a YouTuber. YouTube even made me fall in love with teaching more, as I realized that I was a teacher in my own right, as I did aspire to be a teacher, and I realized that by teaching players through guides in Skyblock and the appreciation and acknowledgement I received from the community made me realize the joys of teaching and made me want to become a teacher even more when I finished my university degree. My favorite quote is from Viktor Frankl: "What is to give light must endure burning. In order to inspire and teach others, one has to undergo the challenges and trials that come with it." I may have overcame the challenges of the A-levels and YouTube together at the same time, but now I am faced with dealing with managing the army with YouTube at the same time. And honestly, this challenge isn't easy as I'm currently going through it, and it is really exhausting making videos only 2 days a week when I am allowed to go home. But hey, I am ready to face this challenge head on and emerge stronger as I did once before. If we did it once, we can do it again. Lastly, my personal beliefs and values focuses on conviction, the drive to know and get what you want, resilience, the ability for you to go through the trials of life to achieve your dreams, and lastly, to inspire and educate those around me as I wish to do so by being a teacher in the future and currently as a YouTuber. Lastly, I hope this video helped you know more about me, and if it did, be sure to leave a like and to subscribe. And this is Furball the Hammy, your friendly neighborhood hamster, signing out. See you guys in the next video.